Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.
Welcome to the Michael Unbroken podcast, where it's all about understanding your past, getting out of the vortex, creating intention, cultivating self-belief, and becoming the hero of your own story. This podcast answers real client questions with real, personal, practical, and actionable advice based on science, mindset, and becoming unbroken. Now, your trauma coach, author, and speaker, Michael Anthony.
What is up, Unbroken Nation? I hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Just wanted to take a minute here, and before we start the podcast and dive in, just say thank you to all of you who have purchased a copy of Think Unbroken, the paperback book that I wrote in January. Well, I released it in January. I spent most of last year writing it. And I just want to say thank you so much for purchasing it and pushing it to Amazon and making it #1. And for those of you who have not read it, you can check it out at thinkunbroken.com/paperback. It would mean the world to me if you would check it out, leave a review if you have read it, and share it with friends, especially this time of year. As we head into the holidays, mental health care has got to be a priority for all of us. And speaking of the holidays, it's kind of where we're going to go today. I was thinking about how impactful it is to hold true to your personal boundaries as you start to head into this holiday season. And what I mean by that is there are so many of us that for no other reason than the feeling of obligation from societal constraints, we feel it necessary to go and show up and put ourselves in positions of being incredibly uncomfortable, surrounded by family, potential friends, community, employers, co-workers, and being in a position of not wanting to be around them. And yet we go and we do that anyway. Why? Why do we, as grown-ass adults, I imagine that you are a grown-ass adult listening to this right now, that we would put ourselves in this position of being so incredibly uncomfortable, not only because of the circumstance of potentially being around abusive people, but by not listening to ourselves. One of the biggest things that we have in our toolbox is childhood trauma survivors or adult survivors of trauma, or people who've been through some bad shit or anything. As a human being, the number one tool that you have is the control over your actions and what you do and what you choose to do. And realistically, as we head into the holiday season, we often find ourselves in a collision course with ourselves. Right? How many times have you been sitting in the car, keys in the ignition, telling yourself, I guess I have to go. I have to show up. I have to do this. And then you get there. And the whole drive, you're thinking, oh, I wish I was just home. I don't want to go be around these people. I don't want to go to this event. I don't want to do this thing. And then you sit outside, parked for 3 to 5 minutes, contemplating, I could just go home. I don't have to do this. And then suddenly you force yourself out of the car, to the door, and into this environment that you don't want to be because it's toxic. And my question for you is why? Why do you do this? Why do I do this? Why do we as human beings do this thing that is make ourselves not listen to ourselves? It is so much an area of improvement that we all need to step into, and I include myself in that. Though I try very, very hard at all times to listen to myself. Now, of course, there's obligations. There are things in life that you're going to have to go and do if you want to or not. That's just life. That is how it is. But think about right now. Today, for instance, Thanksgiving, if you're listening. Today is a day that we go and we be around toxic fucking people for hours upon hours, where we have to walk on eggshells, eat food we don't want to eat, talk to people we don't want to talk to, be involved in conversations we don't want to have, and feel guilt and shame about everything and anything. And then you parlay that with just the fact that right now we are probably in one of the most stressful times in history, and yet we are still going. If you're driving right now and your gut instinct is telling you, I don't want to go and do this, then why are you going to do it? You see, we have this thing called agency. And agency means that we get to make a choice and decision. And even in the indecisions that we have, that is choice. That is our agency to not choose. An agency in the parameters of the context of this conversation is that you get to make a decision about where you put your body. Your physical body, because you are the one who has to move it. Realistically, unless someone has a gun to your head forcing you to go to Thanksgiving dinner with that family member that you hate, that the other members of your family ignore, yet you know that they trigger you, that's a crime. That's a crime. Why would you do that to yourself? And look, I get it, right? We think about the social ramifications. Well, what if I ruin Thanksgiving for everyone? So? Well, what if people are going to be mad at me? They're probably mad at you anyway. That's what family does, right? What if everything is going to be okay this time? Well, we know from learned experience that that's probably not true. Now, look, I'm not saying that you absolutely, positively, 100% unequivocally have to not go to be around these people. But I want you to think about the why. Why are you going to? And if it's suffering, which is often a parlay of these experiences, I recall many, many times these Thanksgiving dinners as a child and having to go to my aunt's house who, for lack of a better term, is a raging bitch. Well, let me rephrase. She used to be, and then some things changed and she did some work and she's a much better person. But 25 years ago, that was not the case. And just going and being in that house as a child was tremendously painful and uncomfortable and hard and torturous. But guess what? It's not 25 years ago. I'm an adult. I'm heading into my 40s. I've got gray hair. I'm going a little bald. I got a job. I get to show up every single day and live the life that I want to live on my terms. Do you think I'm going to her house today? No, absolutely not. Why? Because I make that choice and that decision. Now, of course, there's variables, right? I live in a whole another state than she does. But the point is this. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. I'm going to say that again. I want you to really hear it. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. The idea of being obligated into something that's hurtful or triggering or trauma invoking or makes you question who you are as a person is not something you should probably be doing. You see, you feel like you owe somebody something, but you don't. You feel like you have to show up or you're going to be the black sheep. Who cares? You know, this life, this thing that we're in right now, we only get one shot. And every single time we're forcing ourselves into situations and positions that are not in line with our values, our wants, our needs, our interests, and who we are as a person, we are actually doing ourselves a huge disservice. Every time that we don't show up for ourselves, we're lying to ourselves. Every time that we don't listen to that gut instinct that is deeply embedded in us, we're taking a step backwards. So much of this healing journey, so much of what we do is about getting to this place where we're self-sufficient, where we can sustain, where we can be in connection with ourselves and our environment and the people around us on our term. I talk about this so often. This is a you mission. This is a you game. This whole thing is about you, all this healing, all the talk, all the books, all the workshops, all the self-help, all the videos, all the podcasts. This is for you. Think about this. You listening to this right now is your agency. You doing all the other things around your self-care, that's your agency. That is your choice. It's very unlikely that anyone is forcing you to have to take care of yourself. But sometimes taking care of yourself means not participating. A lot of times, self-care is not participating. Self-care is having the strength, and it is a strength, and I recognize that sometimes it is a very difficult strength to be able to wrap your fingers around, but it is a strength. It is something that is ownership. It is you taking agency over your life to say no. There's power in saying no. And no, in fact, is a complete sentence. You can just say no. Hey, Kevin, do you want to come over for Thanksgiving dinner? No, I don't. Okay, cool. Great. Carol, do you want to come to the holiday party? No, I don't. Okay, great. End of sentence. No one owes you anything else and you don't owe them anything else other than that. No works, right? And we know that at that holiday party, Tom likes to tie one on. That never works out well, right? And we know at that family dinner, Mom is such a narcissist. It's always about her. And Grandma's a little bit racist. And Cousin Bill is awfully touchy. But I should go anyway. They want me there. Now, of course they want you there. But you don't have to go. Do you want to be there? Interesting question. What do you want? What do you need? What is it that your body, spirit, soul, gut is telling you right now? I'm going to guess it's stay home. And that's okay, because you can stay home and you can watch Netflix and you can order pad thai, which is absolutely 100% better than turkey, in my biased opinion. And you can sit amongst yourself or with your close friends or with your partner and not have the stress of all the bullshit that you know is right around the corner. Right? That's agency. That's showing up for yourself, listening, doing the thing that is self-care. And it's so evident the way that we feel when we show up for ourselves. You notice your power, you notice your strength, you notice how impactful it is for you to hold true to your boundaries. And especially in a time where boundaries are so important. It is so important right now to take care of yourself. And I'm giving you permission to take care of yourself. But you have to give yourself permission to take care of yourself. You have to say no. If this isn't where you want to be today, or tomorrow, or next week, or Christmas, or Thanksgiving, next year, or whenever that time is, you get to say no. And you get to own that. And the best part about it is it's not being selfish, and it's not being greedy, and it's not being rude or callous. And if people want to shame you, you might want to reconsider the people that you're around. If people want to bring you down for not showing up, you might want to reconsider the people that do that. You may need to put some more boundaries in your life. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't get a redo. You don't get a retake. And I don't know about you, but I would rather have a peaceful day amongst family, friends, people that I care about and love who are going to respect me than to spend a day in misery wondering why I got in the car to begin with. My friend, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you in the future. If you have questions, you can always email me directly at michael@thinkunbroken.com. Please like, comment, rate, and share this podcast. It would mean the world to me if you would literally just take 20 seconds and hit that 5-star button or leave a review. Or if you hate it, leave a 1-star. I would rather know that too. I'm always trying to make the podcast better. Please check out Think Unbroken Academy. There's some free courses on there, thinkunbrokenacademy.com. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see you. I wanted to let you know that I've released some new material on Think Unbroken Academy. If you go to thinkunbrokenacademy.com, you can take the self-love assessment as well as the free course is CPTSD Controlling My Life, as well as sign up for the upcoming courses where we take some deep dives into mindset, healing, trauma, and overcoming. So you can check that out at thinkunbrokenacademy.com, and I will see you in the classroom.
Thank you for listening to the Michael Unbroken podcast. To leave your question for Michael, call 971-801-2446. Please follow, like, subscribe, and review. And don't forget to check out more mental health resources at thinkunbroken.com. And follow Michael on Instagram at MichaelUnbroken.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.